All right, and live with us now over the phone is Dr. Marian Gerges, and she's a political analyst to give us her insight on the latest developments here in the region, especially regarding the Iran situation and, of course, also the Iranian attacks against Arab Gulf countries on this Sunday, and Egypt's condemnation of these attacks. And so, Dr. Marian, good evening. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. It's my honor.
Our privilege. So how do you see the developments of the situation regarding the Iran problem, the escalation that's ongoing at the moment? Are we, in danger of returning to something that looks like the 39 days of war that began on February 28th?
Yes, I think that the situation in the Middle East is going crucial and complicated more and more, especially after what happened yesterday and the reported completion of another round of the U.S. strikes against the Iranian target suggests that the military confrontation remains active. Maybe both sides cannot reach a peace deal, cannot reach to a point of understanding between both parties, and I think we have expected that since both parties have trust issues, have the nuclear program, the ballistic missiles, and many issues that they didn't reach a point of understanding between both sides. Maybe the risk of miscalculation here is very high, and the further escalation in the region remains high, taking in consideration that this development will highlight the regional countries are trying to contain the conflict and prevent it from spreading beyond the current battlefield. Like Iraq, it was very important news today that the Iraq foreign minister was trying to show his support and saying that his territory and his land, which means Iraq, that will not be sharing in this conflict at all in the whole region.
Right. And how do you see the mediation efforts at the moment? I mean, Islamabad spent great efforts in brokering this memorandum of understanding. Of course, Pakistan was not alone. I mean, there was also Egypt, Turkey, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and others. How important is it to keep that diplomatic push and try to cool the situation down, especially if we note that Israel, for instance, would want full-scale war to return back, and we've heard even the Americans saying that they don't want Israel in any future round of attacks against Iran if they do occur.
Yes, Pakistan, I think it played a very important role so far, and it's well positioned to play a constructive mediating role between both parties, because it means the only diplomatic way or the diplomatic pathway between both parties and between Iran also on the Gulf countries. But the strikes that Iran is insisting to make over, like Kuwait, like Qatar, like the United Arab Emirates, I think it's getting the situation more complicated. And here I'm very sure from what you said that Israel is trying very hard in order to disrupt the peace deal between Iran and the United States of America, because this trials of Israel, this evil trials that's not of the benefit of anyone over this planet, is trying to make to invade more places from the south of Lebanon, and we have the pilot areas and the trial to make the Israeli troops get out of these pilot areas, and nothing is getting, just more strikes here in the south of Lebanon and also in Gaza Strip. So I always say that Israel is the only party and is the only one that wants the war to go on. Put in mind that Donald Trump wants to reach a peace deal with Iran as soon as possible before the midterm elections in November.
Yes.
Adding to your question, I would like to add, and I always suggest Egypt to play a mediation role between Iran and the United States, in along with Turkey and Qatar, and of course Islamabad.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Marian Gerges, for your valuable input, really. That was political analyst Dr. Marian Gerges talking to us via phone here on Nile Oracle. Now time for the World Cup update, and we begin here at home, where Minister of Youth and Sports Gohar Nabil said that the International Cairo Stadium will be hosting a grand celebration for the national football squad on Monday evening. The minister said the celebration, organized by the United Sports